So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on KPHR Hamilton and over on YouTube.com at Hutch Henry's. We are going to be chatting all things pro wrestling over the next hour, including a clash in Italy, a classic match of the Grandes in Mexico, and so much more. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I'm joined by Hutch.
We're here, but will we stay? Like we were there for a second before. I think I had my editing software open and I was changing mics and like headphones and shit. So like maybe it's funny. It was soon after I started working with you. This is the first time this ever happened to me. Like using OBS and these streaming softwares, they're the first softwares that I've ever used where they like usurp mics.
Well,
and,
what they do,
they've like all my other programs they do it now. And I'm like,
yeah, yep. All the software now. There's options in Windows where you can tell Windows no app is allowed to take over my entire sound card.
Guess what I did soon after this happened, and I was having all those freakouts, and that's why it didn't happen for ages. And now that it's happening once in a while, I'm like, But I wonder if like the setting got changed.
Dude, okay. Funny that you say that. A bunch of my settings got changed a few weeks ago, and I was ready to just like chuck everything, yeet everything off a bridge.
All right, I guess I should go investigate that, because you know how like YouTubers are like, oh, YouTube will randomly like unsubscribe people, so check out once in a while, if you're subscribed. So I think that's what's going on. Hey, you got to switch our positions. So now, because now that you're on this side, it freaks me out when I look over here and I'm looking away from you. See, I feel like this just makes me feel there. But you're not.
But the problem now is, but now I'm not looking at anything. I'm actually looking at a light, blinding by the light.
All right. Well, I can. All right. I just put up my new X-ray do not enter signs. But if I take them down, then I can flip my freaking thing, and then it won't matter. I can mirror my camera.
We're fine.
No
one
will know. They'll just be like, Hutch is ambidextrous, right? I'm glad I'm not.
It's better than people thinking other things about you.
Well, yeah, they think those things too. Anyways, let's talk some wrestling. Dude, you're tired. I'm tired. I've had a hell of a week. I'm so tired I didn't even bring water. I'm drinking like old, like cold coffee from this morning before I went to work.
Okay, so I have this McDonald's coffee, this McCafe from like 3 hours ago, a bottle of water that's almost done, and some shitty carbonated water that tastes like hot Neocitran.
I think we'd say like hot ass. All right. Well, like those cop movies where they're like drinking the cold coffee. And he's like, I put a cigarette out, and then he's like, it doesn't matter. Like trying to remember what movie that is.
You know what this reminds me of? Airplane. I picked the wrong day to quit smoking.
Yeah, like it might. I don't think it was from that movie. It might have been, but around that time. But hey, dude, what a weekend of wrestling! Let's like we've been leaning into the let's talk about our lives, right? And like. You don't want to do that today. Like the week that I've had has been very active, but none of it's that exciting. It's very like very personal stuff and then very like boring stuff, but there was a lot of it.
Yeah.
But what there was also a lot of was goddamn wrestling, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on.
WWE had like the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, the medium of mediums all in one weekend. And I got to say this, you know what it reminded me of? Remember the black and gold NXT? This is pre-AEW. Black and Gold NXT, when like Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano were having match of the year every single week. It honestly felt like that, where AAA just completely decimated anything that the main WWE roster could do. And I felt sorry for them going into Sunday, but I not stayed up. I'm always up at that time, but I watched AAA at 10 p.m. on Saturday. I usually watch it Sunday morning or on Sunday, like ungodly hour if I can't fall asleep, but I watch it live. And I am so happy that I did, just because of all the results were posted everywhere. And you kind of had an idea of what was going to happen, but I just felt it felt special being able to watch such an amazing show live as it's happening. There was something to be said about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't always catch things live. I caught this a little bit behind, but there are so many times when things are live, like Mania, especially when you go places, or the Rumble. Like you want to be there as other people are reacting, and things like that. But, I kind of agree with you. This kind of felt like peak NXT kind of black and gold vibe. But of course, it's a slightly different production and things like that. But, it's weird. You've got Triple H, at the top. And then you've got, Undertaker over here and Shawn Michaels over there. And they're all doing their things. But, yeah, it'll never be like that was back in the day. And even the undercard here, things went a little fast. I just released my AAA review. I should have got on it right away. Which I kind of did to a degree as far as recording it, but I'm so busy this week. But
the 4 matches all had great story. They all lead into the next few months of AAA, which is going into September, Triple Mania, Las Vegas, night 1. Night 2 is going to be in Mexico City, and then we're going to have SmackDown and Raw in Mexico City. Awesome time for being a Mexican fan right now. And dude, imagine being a Mexican fan in the DF, as we call it, El DF, Mexico City. You get all these awesome WWE shows now. You get the AAA WWE, which is like killing it. And then you're also getting all the CMLL with AEW stars, plus you're getting Grand Slam Mexico in September. Like, this is a great time to be a Mexican fan.
Yeah, that's everything I was about to talk about. So, I'll see you guys later.
Amazing. But okay, let's talk about this. Like, going back to Saturday, Noche de los Grandes, the bookends of the matches. We had the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship and the Mask v Mask match. Both of those matches, I loved that opening match. We'll talk about all matches.
Great opening match. These guys have always had good matches. It was pretty awesome. But I don't think it's a big deal that Phoenix won this title. Now, if WWE wants to try and make the title into a big deal, maybe they can. But it's just the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. He's had this. He's had every title in this company.
Yeah.
And it was still like sans 13 minutes. I think this was like 12 and change. Very Clash in Italy. Like when you say ESPN, you have an hour of ESPN. I'm like, no, you gotta think like a WWE hour. Like a WWE hour is like 35 minutes. Everything else is promos, commercials, this and that 35 includes your entrances. So you're looking at like 8 and 12-minute matches, and then you pad out the 35 with entrances and like an aftermath, and the rest is all ads. That's a WWE hour. You're not quite there with AAA yet, and there have been rumors that they're going to get an English-speaking television deal as opposed to just all the what they have right now, which is all Spanish-speaking. Which I think if you're a fan, I can see why they're into it down there. Because the commentary is so canned here for the English-speaking audience. The Spanish commentary is like raucous and live. And
I watch it in both. So Saturday I watched mainly in Spanish, but I did switch over to hear just to hear JBL and Corey Graves, just to kind of get the idea of what's going on. But I typically watch these shows in Spanish.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I'll continue on that point, but the reason I went down this tangent was, the timing of the matches. I remember when we got through all of these title matches and I looked at, and it was just past the halfway point of the show. So this was a 33-minute show match, not including entrances and exits and the aftermath. So this was huge. We're talking we're going on close to 50 minutes for this whole thing. And then the rest was within that hour. So, NXT, I guess they did that sometimes, but it felt really weird. A lot of the matches felt like rushed, but maybe to me it was because there was nothing surprising here. I remember one person saying they thought it was weird that the War Raiders won. I'm like, really? Okay, but go on.
No, I was gonna agree with you 100%. Like everything was kind of phoned in. I kind of feel like this is WWE making their mark, saying, okay, these are going to be the guys leading us into Triple Mania, right? And it was very obvious, like with Rey Fenix. Then you had Vikingo beating Dr. Wagner Jr., El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. for the Latin American Championship. You kind of saw that coming. And then even with the War Raiders, right? I kind of saw that coming with the way that they've been treated in AAA. And then you had the blow up of Pagano and Psycho Clown.
Yeah, like there was no matches here that were so everybody, these are the matches I thought was going to happen. Right?
Now, let's take off we watch way too much wrestling hats. Put on I'm a casual and I want to watch the Mask versus Mask match. If this was your first gateway into AAA, I think they did a damn good job.
Oh, well, yeah, man. These guys have been doing a damn good job in general. I mean, there's Undertaker chants all the time. Jeremy Borash is down there, and I know that he's in charge of production, but he is in that ending credit there beside Levesque and Calloway and Borash. So he's probably a big part of creative to a degree. Big on a side note, big props to Pete Dunne because he produced and aged the main event. So good job. And his relationship with Kaiser's obviously flourishing. All of them. Have you noticed that they did these guys flew out to Italy after this shit and did like one of the in between match segments. I don't know if it was on Raw because I watch it on Netflix, right? So you get you get those mid-match things. So I think it was like a Danhausen type segment because they came out and they were speaking the best, most fluent Spanish they've spoken in a while. So like they're all hanging out a lot. They're all invested in these characters. It's not like Dunn and Bate now are like, oh, people are like, this is killing them. This is like, give me a break when it first happened, right? But in Italy, where they speak Spanish, right? They speak in Spanish, the Italian, but it's very close. He was able to get it off. They appreciate it the same way the Mexicans do, the same way, people in Canada appreciate the Bret Harts and when he goes over to Germany, things like that. It's weird. So they're like into it. They know that they've got something here. And it was those two guys I was worried about the most. But I mean, they seem to be really into it. Kaiser can never take the mask off. Like never.
No,
he's done.
Like he is. He might as well be full-time AAA at this point.
Yeah, I mean, El Grande Americano, Mexicano, he's all of it, dude. Like he's worldly. And like I've mentioned it a few times on my review that I do on Hutch Henry's YouTube at Henry's. That the Mexican song. I always forget the name of the song, but it's like
a Mexican song.
A Mexican is born anywhere. Yeah. So like, and he like embodies it. But I do worry about like what we were just saying, how it was a little bit predictable as to what was going to happen. Sure, these storylines were great coming up. I felt like I had a bit of a TNA vibe. Everybody's saying it's like NXT. I'm like, to me, it was a little more of a TNA vibe. Like things were, but they're loose. They're learning, and then the Mexicans are learning the WWE style, and it's like, it's loose. And even just obviously they have top notch equipment, but you're down there in the heat all the time. It affects. It's very different than WWE moving around constantly in their home base. Even in Florida is obviously very hot, but it's different. But anyways, that's a different tangent. What I'm worried about is, could this be the norm? Everybody's like Undertaker. Wow, he's doing such a great job. But I'm like, okay, there's nothing here that if I had missed a AAA, I don't think I would have been that upset because the storylines were kind of set for a while. And even Catalina and Bailey, like there's nothing that happened in the last show or the show before. Like now they're setting up for stuff after that. Like they've got Iguana and La Parka winning a number one contendership for the tag titles. So now they're obviously going to take on the War Raiders and probably lose. Like they were setting up for all the stuff to happen after. So there wasn't that much there. And if it wasn't for Mask versus Mask, what would this have been huge in any fashion? Would we be taught like really? And AAA happened this weekend. We'd be talking about it in the same vein as we're going to probably talk about Clash in Italy. Imagine it was just those intro matches, and then like I don't know, Dom was there taking on somebody, and he beat somebody like for LA Night in Mexico, like, and whatever. It'll have that Saturday night's main event vibe. But he got really lucky here with this. Everybody got lucky here. This is like freaking lightning in a bottle. This is what wrestling is. Like whenever that was like, I don't know what the hell was with McMahon and these guys or anybody. Like as somebody that works with people in all kinds of creative endeavors, music, writing, wrestling, producing, freaking building shit. Like there's nothing better than somebody else's idea. And especially if you are the person in charge, because you're like, all right, here's idea. Here's what I'm saying we're doing. Here's this. What's that? No, that's stupid. I don't like that idea. What's that? Wait, tell me again. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Let's do that. And now doing that, I feel like I just did a McMahon thing. So, I think that would be what he was like. But I felt like if it wasn't his idea and he didn't say, let's do it, let's implement it, and it just happened naturally, because this is obviously what the guys said this was. It's not like they were like, okay, let's do the thing where we get him over. Like this. I don't think that was the plan. So, dude, they used to always lean away from that shit. The Daniel Bryans, the Long Island Z stories, the freaking everything, the Rusev days. They were always like, fuck out of here. It's matter with you. Get out of here with your Rusev day. But they couldn't stop it down there. And like Calloway was like, I'm not riding this wave. Let's do it. So yeah, I'm sorry that I babbled there, but I'm worried that this might taint it. We're going to have rose-colored.
Oh, you're muted again. You're muted again. You are muted again. Sorry. I'm sorry. But yes. Honestly, you brought up some really great points. I know exactly what you mean by the tainting of it. Yeah. It's for me, it'll be very look, I'm not trying. I'm trying to not sound negative, but you also kind of feel as a WWE watcher. I'm not even a fan anymore. I watch the product. That's about it at this point. You're waiting for the other shoe to fall.
Mm-hmm. And like we're comparing WWE to WWE this weekend. Like it was a great weekend for WWE. That's what you said something along those lines at the beginning. Yeah. And I almost wanted to be like, well, no, not really. AAA kicked her out.
I said the highs of highs, lows of lows, middles of middles.
No. But I'm saying my reaction. Like at the beginning, you were like, hey, WWE had a hell of a weekend, and you would just like press it. And I wanted to jump in and be like, what are you talking about? They got freaking smoked by Triple O. Yeah, I guess you're right. So it is all under the same umbrella. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I guess TKO. No. I guess TKO had a good weekend. If you want to be correct,
so. Where are they going from here? Kaiser taking so basically we get angry because Kaiser doesn't take on Mysterio and win the title, or he takes on Mysterio and wins the title. So either they go classic TNA WWE and they fuck it up, or they do exactly what is probably going to happen. So like more predictability. Like more what should happen. Like obviously we want to get him over. He should take it from Mysterio. This all makes sense. But the thing that makes wrestling keep people coming back every week. Like if you know the match is happening, you tune into the match. You don't need to come in every Raw, every weekend, every AAA broadcast, everything. The thing that Bischoff used to say, what?
The unpredictability. Like that's.
Yes. I'm just now realizing that I don't have you on my headphones. I have you on my speakers here. So that's why I can't hear you when you say things. I can hear that you're talking, but I don't hear it distinctly. So I'm going to switch you to my headphones. And maybe that's actually why this is happening. Something that I never do. I'm always listening to you in my headphones. Please speak.
Hello. I am Boris. Am I in your head now?
Maybe my thing won't. But yeah, geez, I can't remember just what I was saying there for a second. But yeah, like they have to go towards Mysterio. And I don't know. Oh yeah, Bischoff always said that you have to the unpredictability. Like that's what he always said. He brought every week. You never know what's going to happen. The run-ins and we're desperately out of time. And
anything can happen.
Yeah, they tried to give you that. Yes, and WWE they leaned into that too. But once they realized it, they took it to a marketing meeting, and then they were like, they brought that to you, right? Unbelievable. Like it's like there was some taglines around that time where it was all like, you never know what's going to happen, or unbelievable. I'm trying to remember some of them, but yeah. So I'm hoping that this doesn't burn out or get boring or get obvious, or, they need something to pull me in. Like, is Omos against Galeno going to pull me in? Is Vikingo against his little brother going to pull me in? Like they better kick the bloody shit out of that kid and pull the mother in the ring and start smacking her around. And like, I don't know. And then we move into commentary. This is actually where I started this whole tangent, and we got onto other things. The Spanish commentary is so passionate, so on point. And like already, if you were into Lucha Libre, when you listen to the Spanish commentary, I'm not nearly as fluent as you, but I have enjoyed it for a long period of time. It's kind of like kid, you watch, if you don't speak English and you watch a lot of TV, suddenly you start to pick things up. Right. So, they've always had that passion. So WWE would have always been behind the eight ball as far as I'm concerned, as far as like giving a shit about the product, like really caring. And Corey Graves cares, but he cares in the way that he wants to make a good impression, not embarrass himself. He's a keener. JBL, I personally love him, but I can see why a lot of people like absolutely loathe his commentary. And it's like, some people it's grotesque. Oh, it's annoying. Oh, it's arrogant, or like whatever you want to put in there. I think it's freaking awesome. But I've said it on my pod a few times about that Mysterio's a little one note. His like range of talking, his inflections in his voice aren't that, he doesn't have that much of it. But, I don't have to be as PG as that. I could just be like, Rey Mysterio sucks at commentary. Like he's atrociously bad as a color commentary. Like
yeah, like he should not be on commentary.
And
he made some weird comments at times, and you could tell that Corey was like, what the F are you talking about right now?
Yeah, and see that's the thing in some ways. Like, and Conan wasn't that great either. But
no, exactly.
If you're listening to Josh Barnett and Jim Ross do the old Access TV like New Japan stuff, I guarantee you they sound really excited and they sound like they're there. And this is a guy who has done a good fucking amount of post commentary on stuff. I do a ton of live, way more live than post in my life, but a hell of a lot of post. And you probably couldn't tell. I mean, maybe sometimes people might even know that I wasn't there, but it's all energy all the time. JBL and Barnett were good at that. And even when he had Matt Stryker with him and some other people there, it's good. What is not good is this team as far as that feeling. I like these people. Corey Graves is okay. You know, I like Wade Barrett way better. And like why he would have been in Italy. Why wasn't Wade Barrett in Italy? Corey Graves was there. And this is what I'm about to touch on, is that they did this all through like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember it now. The IGN line, IBN. I used to use it in college, but that's so long ago. I can't remember the name of the thing, but they use like basically all over the internet, you know, like Zoom, but it's like a more professional, like dedicated system. But you can tell there's still drops. There's still timing issues, like calling things. And here's the thing that blows my mind. They're not in the same room. I just found this out recently. Like Corey Graves, there's a very good chance Corey Graves did this from Italy. And why
I think he was in Mexico with Ray.
Ray was in Mexico. But he was there not doing he might have gone backstage, yes, and done the commentary like I'm talking live, yes, and then he went and did his manager stuff in the ring. And it was very obvious when Savio Vega was doing it that was the pre-recorded stuff, because you can't have Ray there, you know. So they just had Savio for the whole thing, but a few weeks ago or whatever. But you know, JBL was in Texas, I believe. I'm not sure of all the locations, but I found out they weren't in the same room. They were all doing a video screen while watching it. One take, go. And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But this is freaking WWE. So on one hand, I'm like, yes, all these people are very important. You know, compared to you and me, these people are very important, make a lot of money, have a huge schedule, planes, what's next, what meeting, what thing, this and that, promos, boom, got to hear. I get it. You don't have a lot of time. But you can't fucking produce this shit. Are you kidding me? Like, it really makes me sad. And Corey Graves sounds behind the eight ball himself, let alone English versus Spanish. He sounds like a keener. He sounds a little too try hard. And like, I guess I've already gone over this. Rey Mysterio sucks. JBL's awesome, but I can see how most people hate him. And yeah, it's kind of not good. And I'm saying this all now because it was a massive weekend. It was like a triumph of a weekend for AAA. So I feel now's the time to be like, great, let's look at all the things that are wrong so you can keep this up.
But that's the thing, right? Anytime I say anything negative about AAA, I don't say it because I'm trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be like your typical wrestling fan. I'm saying it in the vein of, hey, maybe possibly someone is listening and they will give a crap and they're going to go back and, you know, take some notes and pass notes along. I say it in that vein. I say it I want them to keep getting better, because right now they're on a good course. But I agree with you. Everything that you've said about the commentary. I love JBL, and I know exactly why people would hate him. Rey Mysterio should not be near a microphone, which the irony is that's all he's going to be doing in AAA. Yeah,
he has 2 microphone jobs in AAA.
Yep,
it's really too bad. Like, they can't find anybody that speaks fluent both and has a personality, because Conan was atrocious. But I mean, you got to give that guy all the leeway in the world right now. Dude, you do not want Vampiro near anything. You don't want him near wrestling, TV, your kids. You don't want him near anything.
I know. Dude, do you remember
fucking with me.
The last time, like, I think it was 22, 23, something like that, when they 22. Anyway, doesn't matter. When they did the World Cup of Wrestling, that show, I think that show was like the epitome of everything I've always said about AAA up until the purchase from TKO. And that's, you get the best of the best, and you get the most embarrassing, just cringeworthy stuff. And at that show, from beginning to end, the wrestling was horrible. I don't remember if they were using the 6-sided ring at that point, but Vampiro was just out of town the entire show. Yeah, Matt Striker was Matt Striker. Like, it was
the Matt Striker Vampiro combo on English commentary for a while down there. And while Vampiro was Booker, that was a rough period of time for AAA, bro. That was bad stuff.
And that's when they were like really close with TNA too. So you had the TNA effect.
And like it ended so bad that they retroactively like had Jarrett not be mega champion. Like they took it out of the record books and never spoke. They Benoit him. And like, he's back now. They've put him back in, but there was like a good 5 years where they like Benoit his ass completely. And they're like, that shit didn't even happen. We vacated the title, and then there was whatever, you know, some guy won it from some other guy. Macias won it from some dude. Was that blow up call from
guy.
Japan?
Yeah. Exactly.
That we did
exactly. It. But
so, yeah.
AAA. Look,
but hey, let's go back to praise.
Position.
Let's go on. They're in a better position. Go on.
They're in a much better position right now, which is all we can ask for. And let's keep this momentum. Now, Hutch, get your pencil out. How would you book Grand Americano to Triple Mania?
To Triple Mania?
Yeah, like what would you do? What hardships is she gonna have to go through?
This is an issue here, right? We're talking September traditionally, and all the stuff leading up to it. So right now we've got June, July, August, September. Oh boy, that's 3 months. That's 3 months pre-tapes, though. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not just like running in circles, maybe some feud, but he already has the title. He won the Rey de Reyes. Like there's no need for preamble here. He's like, hey, Mysterio, you, me, Triple Mania. Now, maybe they could do something before that, but I don't see why. They have no major events. So I don't know what they're going to do, man. Like, how do they keep this hot? I don't know. I keep thinking about Jeff Gable. Funny that I just mentioned Jeff Jarrett. Because Jarrett was saying that he should be ready to leave WWE if they don't capitalize on the momentum. And it's like, he might be right in the way he worded it. I'm not sure if I liked some of the things he was saying, but if they don't capitalize, he maybe could do other things. And I'm thinking Japan, not like AEW, like places where they'll respect him. But, it's very odd. I mean, this is the crowning achievement for both of these guys in their career. And if I really had to book this, I want to answer your question specifically. How would I book it to Triple Mania? But I'll tell you what I would do in the booking.
Of course,
and that is you give Chad Gable some time off. Like he's not, that's why I think they didn't fly him out to Italy. Some people are like, why wasn't he on Raw? I went, no, dude, the guy just like bled a gusher, and you can fly him all the way across the entire planet to do what? Like the other Kaisers, the other Americanos did that. And and they got pops like crazy. Like, dude, give this guy taste. His family was there with him in Mexico. Let him chill out in Mexico with his family.
Okay.
Like,
hold on. You know what? 1 second. You know what blew my mind? And I'm like, only in wrestling could this happen. Dude is gushing blood with his daughters in the ring with him. Like, just gushing blood. And it's like, just another day of dad's work. This is just a Tuesday. Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, all of Chad Gable's crowning achievements are like losses. Like, and his daughter was like crying after the Gunther victory, and people still talk about how he should have been IC champ, and like all losses. This loss, like everything's a lot. All his biggest moments are losses. He's gonna like own it. He's gonna screw you, Shorty G. Like Shorty G's like they were chanting Shorty G. Like that's how an entire race like retook a word and put it into their music and like call each other that every day. And I'm like, can't even like think. I mean, I'm worried right now, and I haven't even said it. I'm just alluding to the fact that it exists. And I'm like, like that's what they're doing. Shorty G, take it back. Okay. I'm like, it's awesome. Like these guys. This is like I was saying, the crowning achievement for both of these guys. Kaiser can never take the mask off. Gable is awesome. And to get back to how I would book it, you don't see Gable for a while. But the last thing we saw of him was him humbling himself, American. Oh, man, if he knew some Spanish. But like all of it. And huge ovation for him. Everybody was like, Gable. They loved him as he was leaving. All the people. So he's the guy who comes back to save Kaiser at some point. Like, imagine he's in like the worst of the worst. They were tearing his mask off. They're beating him down. His woman, they've taken Blazart, and they've like destroyed her. What's her actual last name? Is it Blazart?
It's something like that.
Andrea Blazart. Yeah. I was like, man, that's like, if that's I don't know if that's a good name or a bad name. It sounds like it should be like a villain or like a villain's henchman, like Dark Lord Blazart and Gambler. Are gonna go down to the thing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a woman's last name, but anyways, Tangent City over here. Freaking the excellence of exposition. That's what we are. Hutch Henry's here. I'm the Bret Hart of Canada of talking. Never ends. Like he needs to come back, dude. Imagine the pop if like, and like the Americanos is they get like beaten down as well. Rayo and Bravo, and like everything's done. They're all done. Imagine the worst case scenario. They're all standing over, and like Jeff Jarrett's there with his guitar. The worst people in the world. Roosh is there. He's stiffing everybody like crazy. He's just like stiff. They're like, what is Roosh doing here? Like all of it. And then Gable runs in, and the pop would be huge. And then like now you've got the real backup for Grande, right? Like, I don't know. Then you can start doing like all the Mexican like triple matches and multi-man matches or cyberneticos, things like that. I don't know. But I would definitely turn him face. You got to turn him face, and coming in to save Americano would be great because they're like, who else? They've got that connection, and there's like the face to face, like get Americanos. Whose music would they use? Gable's music wasn't great. It was like condescending. It was like this, like like condescending.
It was the it was the.
I'm sure it was a classic tune.
No. What they did is they took Stars and Stripes. Remember Lex Luger's entrance from back in the day, but they did it with the Mexican guitars.
Is that what it was, bro? I gotta go. I can't believe I didn't clock that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was very condescending. I'm like, this is the most.
It was the worst.
So now that I know that, I want to be like, who came up with that? You're amazing. That's a great idea. No, I didn't even notice. And right away, I was like, something's wrong about this.
Yep.
And I feel dumb for not clocking it. But yeah, Kaiser's music is great. So, I like pretty much like Chad Gable's future should be getting something out of this, even if it's in Mexico. Mexico's the place to start it. And the biggest match and moment of his career, hopefully he's not continued to be underutilized. And there is a discussion out there in the IWC of the final like lead into SummerSlam and maybe an IC title run, everything that he should have gotten. But, I'm seeing guys like Ethan Page or something like that. I guess Page would have to take it and then, babyface, heel.
But even then, Penta works as champ, right? Like Penta can be face on face. It can be, but Penta can work as a heel for a match without actually being an official heel.
But this is the idea that we're like, WWE is going to capitalize on. No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
No, they're not.
Gable's they got the Creeds there now, so Gable's got to come back and work with the Creeds and be a heel and do heel stuff and blah blah blah. Like, give me a break, right? The Creeds aren't going face,
but okay.
So and they need tag teams. So.
With that said, El Gran Americano, does he go back to the main roster? I know he made that appearance on Raw, but what is he? He's still a heel technically on the main roster.
He is. Okay, so this is the problem is when I saw that segment at the Italy thing, I was like, whoa, man, like everybody's reacting great to him. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they're in Italy. Okay. But this segment, okay. So the WWE version of the actual full event is like, I think it's got 1 point something or it's at 2 million at least. The AAA version of it, the Mexican version is close. If it's close to 1 million, maybe 900,000 could be more. Might be switching those numbers. I don't know. Big numbers here. Then you have the individual matches that have been like clipped out of, like they've taken the main event and made it its own match, push that in both languages, both well into the millions. Then you have there's Fox like Sadubra Fox or something like that. It's not Fox Latin America. It's not Fox One. It's not Fox Mexico. It's some other thing like and. They have both the event and the match on as well because they aired it at some point on their station as well. And Fox, I guess Fox One and Fox Mexico don't have a YouTube, or at least I haven't heard about this. I haven't gone looking, but the numbers we're looking at like 6 to 8 million people or views at least. So maybe some people are super marks and they watch it twice, 3 times. Okay. You've got like 5 million at least people that like watched this match.
Yep.
And like, I could see him maybe being face. Like, you can't stop that kind of momentum. This is like Yes Movement momentum. Like, if he comes in, I mean, if they're anywhere in the southern states, like suppose, have you seen the schedule?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about here?
Yep. Okay,
so they're not going to the southern states.
No,
so,
not at all.
They're just like out of nowhere in this European tour, like coming back to Baltimore for a Raw and then like right back to like,
and then like, they have a
Dublin
month
or something.
They have about a month in the States and they're going to spend like 2 or 3 weeks in Canada.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. But in the middle of this massive European tour, which is then like, we're doing like, they've like not France, but they have somewhere else, a couple other interesting ones coming up and then the UK stuff.
London.
Somewhere in the middle here, there's just a Baltimore Raw. So it's like, what the hell? So yeah, no, they're not coming to the southern states anytime soon. So hopefully Grande Americano gets these international reactions still, because that's their only chance to like keep the momentum going. And they should. They should, especially if he starts getting those face reactions, you know.
Another question for you. So we've criticized AEW for having the ROH title and blah 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 blah. Do we continue? Do we even mention? Do we talk about? Do we incorporate Dominic Mysterio and the Mega Championship leading into Triple Mania with Kaiser? Obviously, they want more viewers onto that product so that they can get that TV contract. How would you do that?
I didn't hear the beginning of your question because I was reading Thornton's freaking comments. So I'm trying to think, what could he have been asking? No,
oh my God. Do you incorporate the Mega Championship on the main roster, essentially?
Maybe, but no, not really.
Exactly.
Again, they barely have time for the goddamn titles they have. Like this is pathetic. Liv Morgan's in the goddamn tournament, and it's like, well, I want to have those championships, but maybe you too. We got they don't know what the hell they. Too much. It's like adrenochrome from Las Vegas. Talking more Las Vegas with like a fear and loathing, but Las Vegas. That. You know, another win here for Vegas. Obviously, this is a huge town for them. Like this is why they want to do WWE.
It's a destination town.
Yeah, but they're not just negotiating Mania. We didn't even think about it the whole time. They're like, we've got this Triple Mania thing as well. You know, when I was in Mania, not this last year, but the year before at Vegas. I went to a small AAA thing, like in an outdoor arena, and their Psycho Climb was like, I knew quite a few of the guys, or not quite a few. I knew about 3 or 4 of the guys, which was really nice because then I was able to like, hi, and walk in, and they're like, hey, come in here. So that was great, but they're so close. It was like a back door for them. You know, like this is not a town that they're not used to going to. AAA, when they had the few times they have come to America, it's Vegas and LA, right? That's the only 2 places they've gone.
Also remember when you went to watch this show, that was the day that they announced the acquisition.
Of the announcement. Yeah. But they knew it was coming. But all those dudes just found out. Like, obviously, WWE and AAA knew. But, bro, let me tell you, like, freaking Psycho Clown and Laredo Kid, they had no freaking idea. They were like, had this. The reason they were like, hey, come here, amigo. They were hugging me. They didn't give a fuck that they were happy to see me. But the reason they were in such a good mood is because they were like, do you know how rich I am now, amigo?
Cha-ching.
Hey, cha-ching. WWE is like, yeah, we pay you like a fifth of what we pay a regular person. And they're like, and guess what? I'm fucking rich, homie, in Mexico. Yeah. This whole thing is great for everybody. But one of the first videos I ever made when I started doing the Hutchie stuff, and this was obviously a year ago, or I were a year to Mania, was I had mentioned, hey, there's only 18 AAA contracts. And like of the people that are currently in AAA, only 18 of them have gotten contracts. And some of those are like half WWE AAA contracts. The other ones, there's just stragglers, AAA guys. And that's it. And it's kind of turned out to be true. You're just seeing the same faces. So, and Octagon hurt.
The shows. I was literally about to say that because we are going to move on. So I wanted to quickly say the lineup for Noche de los Grandes Week 2 happening this Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube WWE channel, Spanish or English. We have Bailey, Lola Vice, and La Carolina versus Las Toxicas in a 6-woman tag. You have Joaquin Wilde versus Cruz del Toro versus Octagon Jr. versus Lince Dorado versus Mini Vikingo in a fatal 5-way match. Octagon Jr. got injured and stretchered out in this match.
So I don't know if we need to what is there to talk about WWE? I feel they've dropped the ball in every single way, but I'll hit a few points that I wanted to hit before we move on. We were talking about GM, who can do it, who really speaks without a heavy accent. There's guys that can speak English, but they all have heavy accents. And I am a stan for this guy. He's one of my favorites. And he seems like mid-card, lower mid-card. But if you know him as a human being, you know he could pull this off like so good. Lince Dorado could be the general manager for AAA. He speaks fluent English, talks like modern vernacular and like slang, is like cutting. Like you let this guy go. You ever seen his indie stuff? Like, no, I'm not talking for me, like where he does like stuff. Bro, like he is awesome. And he makes all the gear and he speaks fluent like Spanish as well. He could handle it hard. And all you got to do is give him some good stories and put him in the position of power. And suddenly he's important. Like look at Adam Pearce and things like that. But, I would have loved to talk about that kind of specifically more. But when it comes to this weekend, we had SmackDown in Italy and Raw in Italy, and we had Clash in Italy. And if it wasn't for the crowd,
SmackDown was in Barcelona.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. But if it wasn't for the crowds, these shows would have been less than mid. Like none of them were great, but the crowds were super hot. They made everything. But they're just riding that wave and like charging through the nose for all these people to be there screaming and they got nothing. Like what happened this weekend? They got nothing. The thing to talk about is this match. Like this could be match of the year, feud of the year. Sure as hell was the pull apart brawl of like the last 3 or 4 or 5 years that they had the weeks before. Like the fact that this might peter away and we're not going to be talking about it in a few weeks at all would be really, really sad.
Right. And that's what scares me now. I know we're only halfway through the year, but is Undertaker, you know, the 3A's AAA, is Undertaker making a case for promoter of the year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think, and if any time, it would be now. Like, are they going to peek past this? Like, this poor guy, he has had the greatest thing in the world happen to him, and now he has to do it again.
The butterfly effect of how we got to last Saturday is crazy when you actually think about it.
Let's keep talking about it. Like this, the fact that this happened, the way it happened is mind-boggling. And I was touching on that when I was saying, like, thank God they went with it. I almost feel like this is where if it's true, then Undertaker was like, everybody stay away. I know we're doing this. Keep away from my baby. Then yeah, he does deserve promoter of the year, especially if he had to fight back against anything. Like if they were like, we want to put a Coca-Cola logo on the mask, and then we want to have this and that, or heaven forbid, we want to have Kaiser. We want heat. We want Kaiser to lose the mask. The guy got arrested the other day, punched out a guy in an elevator. He needs to learn a lesson. Okay, like that would have been like the worst thing you could do. But
remember, like, let's take a step back. I might not get all of the details. I should have written this down when I was thinking about this, and because I saw some people talking about this. And all right, so last year, Netflix Raw, Chad Gable loses, or a couple weeks after that, he loses to Penta and says he is going to go learn about the circuit arts of Lucha Libre, and then obviously El Gran Americano appears out of nowhere.
The real thing to take away is that AI art was still it was like maybe 6 to 8 months since people started using it liberally. It was still kind of new. You were kind of like, oh, they're using AI. Look at all these AI art things. Like, now it's a year later and it's like, it's not AI.
Exactly.
My mom called me the other day, and when she called me, I was like, click, it's not real.
That's so funny. Starts a feud with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio gets hurt right before WrestleMania. That match gets canceled. Then we have Vikingo and others showing up at WrestleMania with Gran Americano. A few weeks later, Chad Gable gets injured.
Didn't he fought Phoenix at Mania, right?
Yeah, he ended up fighting Phoenix. Yeah, it was supposed to be Rey.
You didn't mention that. You were like, Vikingo showed up and this guy showed up, and I was like, he fought Phoenix, though. The match was against Phoenix.
Yeah.
The other guy showed up. Yeah.
But the important part is Rey Mysterio got injured.
Yeah.
Match happens at WrestleMania. Chad Gable then gets injured. Kaiser dons the mask. And then Kaiser, because of his adoration and actual ability to speak Spanish and respects Lucha Libre, because apparently in high school he was learning Spanish because he already loved Lucha Libre. So there we go. Kaiser becomes just a legend in Mexico, to say the least.
I remember when I saw him come out the next week, and they're like, what are we going to do? And he was just suddenly there, and he came out being very Kaiser-y, though, but like, and he like walked away. They were like, what the hell? This tall guy, this new guy? But I didn't realize at the time, when after Gable got injured, he did some backstage stuff, and like Kaiser was there in the background watching, and he was all like, when he was like, I need to go now or whatever. It's almost like he's like, maybe. And so like he showed up being very Kaiser-y, like, like as if he's like, it was supposed to be cheese. Like the way you could tell it was Gable, they wanted you to be able to tell it was Kaiser. So he's like, I'm going to Americano now. And yeah, like if it wasn't for the AAA thing, none of this would happen, right? It's only the fact that he went down there, did some house show stuff, did some of that stuff off before they really hit ground. Yeah, they were trying to get a feel for the people before they brought in this TV show. Dude, exactly. He got over hard, singing with the people, like having Andre on his side, like just all of it. And that's what Mexican people are like. They're like that. So, and then to get here with him coming back and like the Royal Rumble, like Spider-Man moment, really, and like the like Bret Hart Canada Bizarro World thing that's going on, except like that was at least interesting because when Brett was in Canada, people went nuts. But when he was in the States, you know, like people getting his ass kicked and he's being a complete prick to everybody. And you're like, F you, buddy. But this Americano Americanos in American, in Americans, when the Americanos are in the Americans, nobody gives a bloody American. You can take an American in the toilet and flush it. Like nobody cares at all. And even nobody less than WWE, but it seems.
This is why I give credit to Undertaker, because he stuck to his guns and he stuck to the story that he wanted to tell.
Yes, but also, like, how hard is it? Like, if some guy's like,
oh, it's not,
man.
But that's the thing. Okay, but Hutch, that's the thing. WWE, how many times does WWE have gold in their hand that has fallen out of nowhere and they go the one direction that they shouldn't go? Oh, Jacob Fatu.
Okay, all right, let's talk Clash in Italy, man, because you're right, but they could have screwed it up. But the fact that they didn't, yes, I want to give him praise, but I can't give him credit for, like, way to not fuck this thing up. Like, are we really?
That's where we are with WWE. Like, that's where we are.
Here's $50. Go to the store and get these 5 things on this list and for dinner tonight. And they come home with no money and a crack pipe and like. And
but that's WWE.
The one time they actually go get the groceries, you're like happy. Like they should be getting the groceries every freaking time.
But I know,
smoke crack on your own time.
The fact that we are like this is a state of TKO WWE where we praise them
all wrestling.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
like AAA was like the masters of like effing things up badly
TNA.
Before this. Like
TNA.
I didn't want to go straight to TNA. I was gonna say that, but I was like, no, help. AAA. They were like, oh my god, there was so much. And when it comes to production gaffes,
with the Bucks and CM Punk, do you know how much money they all could have made together if they just grew up?
And the yeah, that's true. The production gaffes at AAA though, and that was a gaff for sure. But yeah, the things they screw up, but that was a gaffe that happened because of personalities and like lawyers and blah blah blah. Like, dude, WWE will give them a storyline. They're like, look, hey, it's Rusev. He's over. He's selling shirts, and Aiden English singing on live TV is over. And they're like, yeah, let's get rid of this shit. And I'm like, no, wait, did you just hear what I said? These dudes who were never going to make you money are over as all hell and are selling merch like crazy. And no, bro. And no to the point that even when they do it now, like they couldn't come back and do that gimmick. Even on the indies, people be like, okay, like, I don't know. It's weird.
This is the difference in my most humble opinion between TKO and Vince McMahon. Because do you think Danhausen would be anything under Vince?
Well, maybe not. But dude, if he sold those t-shirts right away, like if he hadn't sold those t-shirts, he'd have been dead. I don't care how funny he is, how much people like him. That debut, if he hadn't that week been the top merch seller in the company by 3 times over, I don't think we would be having a lot of Danhausen conversations. Okay.
All right.
But that was the golden goose for him. And then they let him roll a bit and he was allowed to do all the things that I think CM Punk was like, watch this guy do this stuff. They're probably like impressed with him now as hell.
Yeah.
All these
100%.
I mean, like there's so much, even the Yes movement. I mean, the Yes movement, they would have squashed that shit.
Kofi.
Yes, the people were strong about it. The Kofi thing. The Kofi thing was almost like they learned their lesson. They were like, oh, we should go with this time. You know, like, yeah, let's give it a shot, see what happens. And it worked out. And it might have even been, a racial thing there. They might have been like, hey, we can double whammy this, let's push this guy over. Let's put the title on him. And like, dude, you saw like people crying. It was next level. People needed that. It was cathartic. And now it almost seems like it was an insult. Or I
don't have the direct quote. No. I don't have the direct quote. And this is sticking to kind of what we're talking. Nick Khan, in some interview somewhere, he essentially said, last year's WrestleMania, or 2 years WrestleManias ago, WrestleMania 40, Cody finishing the story was the entire plan the entire time. Oh, we just had to get there with The Rock, blah, blah, blah.
I guess so. I mean, if you wanted to say the idea of him losing and then winning next year was the plan, they have done like 1 year builds before.
I'm talking about specifically
that lie. Yeah. I'm so disinterested in talking about it. I didn't want to touch back on it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about The Rock and the WrestleMania debacle and any of it.
Let's move on and talk Clash in Italy. We've got about 10 minutes ish left.
Well, I mean,
to talk some Clash.
In some ways, we kind of are. But I guess we're talking about the way WWE screws things up, right? And let me touch the one thing that I was saying that we got cut off for, because you always like it when I do finish off my things, is the Yes Movement was not something that they wanted to keep around. And it wasn't just the fans being loud and not stopping. It was the fact that Batista was getting booed. That the arena that let loose early that he was coming back by releasing the schedule. So then they brought him back early, and then he's like with his tight pants and I'm going to win the Rumble. And the fact that he was booed, they're like, well, we can't have this guy going to Mania getting booed in the main event, winning the title. Randy Orton's getting booed. They went with it because they didn't want boos. They want cheers. So finally they were like, all right, fine. I guess we got to do it. We can't manipulate our way out of this one. So,
and then Triple H inserts himself somehow into the story, and there we go.
Dude, I'll be honest, the Triple H Daniel Bryan match from earlier in the night was actually a good match.
It was great. It was a great way to start.
Even more tension for the end, all of it. Whenever I think of that, all I can think of is the fact that he did have a legitimate shoulder injury, and in his book, he's just all like when he's doing the 2 titles at the end, and like the producer guy is just going like, keep going, and he's like, bro, he even stops. He's like, bro, my shoulder, man. And they're just like, keep going. Bro, we're talking Randy Orton pointing at the sign. He did that shit with those 2 heavy-ass other effing belts for like probably 4, 5, 6 minutes straight. That is like intense, man.
With an injury.
Poor guy. In his book, he's all like, it was a living hell. He's like, the end of the match, the moment everybody thinks it was my crowning achievement, he's like, I was in like excruciating pain, and I had somebody whipping me on my back, being like, more, and he was just like, please end, and like the whole world's cheering for him. It's his crowning moment, and he's just like, please end. It's pretty awesome. Fucking wrestling, man.
So WWE didn't do the obvious thing this past Sunday at Clash in Italy. What are your thoughts?
I can tell you what they didn't do. They didn't do shit, but I can tell you what they did do. They fucking shit on everything. This was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go on, Boris.
Yeah.
I've been really shitting lately on the show. I'm sorry.
That's a lot of swearing for a radio show on KPHR Hamilton.
I don't know, man. Like, I try, but then you swear, and then I'm like, all right, I don't care. But this is making me. This is the apathy. It deserves this, right? Why go back to Kaiser? Why are we so into Kaiser? Why were we so into Ospreay, Takeshita, Roman Reigns, CM Punk? There was emotion connected to it, right? So, and I have emotion connected to the fact that, dude, Jacob Fatu lost twice and now is like acknowledging Roman Reigns. Gunther lost after all this stuff. Gunther lost in an 11-minute match.
Yeah. Controversy. Setting up a possible rematch, but he lost. Let's not take away from the fact that he got pinned and lost in 11 minutes.
Yep. It's not like I don't know what to say, man. I've been wrong before, and maybe everything could be fine, but it seems pretty obvious they're leaning towards Cody and Roman at like maybe for the crown jewel or for SummerSlam, or this is happening. They want to do the 3. They want to do it, and it's
Little Joe says Clash in Italy sucked. Becky looks like she doesn't have it on her anymore. You know what? I honestly think she's halfway checked out at this point in her career.
Yeah, man, she's halfway checked out, and it's not just us saying it. Joe Thornton's saying it, Boris Aguilar's saying it, everybody's saying it.
Oh man, what a day! Hey,
I was even thinking,
Jade Cargill had a pretty good match.
Jade, the gargle, man. She spit it back in our faces. She had a decent match.
Jesus Christ. That's all you got? That's all you got for it?
See, how much time do we got left? We got a minute and a half left.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Because we had the intro there, eh? Okay, I got to talk about this for 6 minutes. Man, I'm really upset at WWE, and I'm hoping we get something. I'm hoping we have mass betrayal, the Usos, like Jacob. Like, it has to be something. Look, they can't, like, and MFTs. What are we doing with MFTs?
Roman sends Jay essentially go get the other one. There's 2 ends of the table type of thing. Roman is kind of building himself up to be a loner again. And I have a feeling, but I don't know. I don't like.
Didn't they all come together? And he's like, I want to be. Like,
yeah,
he made the overture,
but he's constantly saying, "I'm doing it not for me, for you guys, and I'm trying to do it the right way."
Yeah, and I understand it's his gimmick, and we all have our one-liners, and acknowledge me is his thing, and the crowd pops. Cincinnati, acknowledge, great. But like the whole thing of getting back together was that we're not going to do this, right? We're family, we're blah blah blah. And now he's like, acknowledge me. Jacob needs to acknowledge me. I'm having tribal combat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, you guys are like falling right in line. Like, what's going on here? Like. I don't know. Hopefully something will happen with Heyman and the Vision, like getting speared and like, I don't know, like this. And the running back Oba and Brock. I'm hoping like so much predictability in weird ways. SummerSlam's going to be Cody and Roman and Brock and Oba. And like, there's, I don't know, man.
No. So SummerSlam won't be Cody and Roman because SummerSlam is going to be the King of the Ring winner, which right now possibly looks like it could be Seth Rollins.
That's true. I remember I was talking with someone about that. Right, would be Roman and Seth. I'm not that interested in it, but I certainly don't want him to go after Cody because I don't need a Seth Cody match again, and we don't need Punk coming back and taking on Seth. So really, Roman finally paying off all of the like teasing. So that might. Do we finally get Punk Cody on SmackDown? We should. Have you seen Punk lately on Insta, dude? Bro.
Yeah.
Let's put him in there. And
he's your age, right? Like, you guys are the same age.
Yeah, man. And a very attractive woman at my work today who started. She said very similar things to me. She's like, well, you for your age, and well, she said very nice things to me. So I'm sure lots of people are saying those things to Punk, and it's making him think maybe I should do this more often. He's thinking I should go to the gym more often. I was thinking now, like, I should bathe and sleep, get a good 8 hours sleep more often.
There we go.
I should eat a full meal more often.
So, Hutch, you're angry at WWE right now, but you also like the other WWE brand in AAA. Let's who knows what's going to happen over the next weeks. Something I do want to bring up really quickly is June 19th. I don't know what we're going to do that day or after that day. June 19th is
Friday?
A Sunday. What?
I thought it was a Friday. I know that June 11th is my show.
No, sorry.
Thursday.
June 28th. Okay. June 28th. Sorry, I have brain farts. June the 28th is going to be a very long day because at if you care, 2 p.m., TNA Slammiversary is happening. Slammiversary is typically a fun show. Later on that day, at night, you have AEW Forbidden Door and NXT Great American Bash happening at the same time. 3 shows, 1 day.
Wow. All right. Well, that'll be fun. We'll have lots to do. Maybe we should do one of them live. But hey, I'm down. Give me more wrestling. Let's get this bad taste out of my mouth. The winner of the whole weekend, the winner of the year so far, because what matches did I mention earlier? Like that I thought were emotional matches. I know Ospreay Takeshita was good. Bandito was from last year. Oh, Romans and Punk. There was a lot of stuff in there. Some good promos. This one, so much emotion, everything. And MJF was doing good. The MJF Darby stuff is kind of like neat, and but so much emotion and out of nowhere for the mid-carders. Like, it's just so impressive on so many levels. And the fact that they went with it and the fact that it even happened, so for me, that's the thing to talk about. Roman was saying, he was pointing at the MFTs, wasn't he? He's like, they're next. We're gonna see them. So now we have Bloodline versus Bloodline. It's Bloodline till the end of time, man. 6.5, 7 years of this storyline.
Bloodline story.
Guys had entire runs less than this.
Bloodline. Oh, there was a thread somewhere. I think Chris Van Vliet posted it or reposted it. And basically, it's how much longer the Bloodline storyline has lasted than certain things. It's lasted longer than the American Civil War. It's lasted longer than the Attitude Era. It's lasted longer than XYZ. It was a really funny thread. And it's still going.
I should check that out. Geez, I feel like there was one more thing that I was going to talk about, and you were like moving on. And I was like, man, I was just going to mention this one thing. It was like a footnote on something, but it was like important. It was like, psh.
You're going to remember as I start talking because it is the hour. We have been talking pro wrestling for an hour here on KPHR Hamilton and on youtube.com at Hutch Henry's Hutch. Where can we find your beautiful, wonderful work?
At the Man Lucha. and at Hutch Henry's on YouTube and pretty much everywhere. And make sure you are at Demand Lucha next Thursday. Coming up, we got a ladder match. I'm stressing out about getting the belt above the ring. We've got Luchadors match. We got there's a lot of plunder and a lot of crazy stuff. And we got some people from Bell interested in like producing the shows now. So like, dude, that show, I got a lot on my plate on that show. And this production I'm on is like having me do work, which sucks. I really like going to work and not doing much work. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's just because then I have a lot of energy later. Yeah. This like working for a living is for suckers, man.
It really is, man. It really is. So. aplusproductions.com is where you can find all of the information for A Plus Wrestling. We want you to be part of the conversation. Facebook.com and search for A Plus Productions. Go to
wait, I remember what I was going to say. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Son of a... Go to your favorite podcasting app, search for A Plus Productions or A Plus Wrestlings. Hit that subscribe, leave a review. Damn you, Hutch, you got me again. You got me again this week. But thank you so much for listening, everyone. Whether this is the first episode or the 100th episode, thank you so much on behalf of Hutch and the entire A Plus Productions crew. Thank you so much, but most importantly, stay